Hello, this is Brian down at the packing bench. Yep, my niece arrived a little after noon. They had a rental car, a Jeep actually, a fairly new one. And of course they got lost coming from SeaTac, our airport, around to the Sticks where we live. But they made it here, and Rose was able to check them into their Airbnb, which is on the same lake we live on. And some of them are out on the paddle boat. Some are on the kayaks, or will be shortly. And of course the teenagers, they're in their phones. But then I spent part of my day in my phone too, relaxing, having a nice time on the dock. All right, the fleet has begun to sortie. Kayaks are out of the rack. Life jackets are standing by. Paddle boats out. A couple of the kayaks are out. It's a sunny day. It started out chilly this morning. Wind's still blowing. But my niece and her four have arrived. They're staying the other side of the island in a B&B. All right, look back now. Stun me. There we go. Yes, 50 years, you still stun me. So you're going to take the last kayak and join them?
I am.
Yep, they left you a yellow one.
It's the first time since we've lived here with all the boats that have been in the water.
That's right. It's been a long time since Seaback when we had a dozen and a paddle boat.
Yeah.
Who's in with Tanya in the silver one?
Nobody yet. Tyler wants to go.
Oh, okay. Where is Tyler?
They're going to pick him up.
Oh, gotcha. They're over at the...
The older boy's off, and if they want to continue, they can, but if they don't, then they'll stay.
Yeah, I think the older boys will be more interested in Seattle than in lake life. They haven't learned to appreciate relaxing. Enjoy, dear. I'll be packing. It actually started fairly cool and windy this morning. In fact, everybody was wrapped in towels and blankets. We've collected more chairs than I think we've ever seen under our gazebo, packed in to chat, because some of these family relatives haven't seen each other in years. Some have never met. For instance, the youngest kids, I'd never met my niece's youngest children. Rose had traveled back to Michigan a few times, but it's good to see them all enjoying themselves. The sun even broke after they got here, so it's warmed up. But being late in the day for the sunshine to break, it's not as hot here in the oven. For sale, a couple of books, same author. Widowmaker, Trespasser. I think that's Paul Doiron is how that's pronounced, an interesting spelling. But these are headed for Pennsylvania. Another item, I had one of these out to use it as an example the other day of a question. This is an adjusting lever for a John Deere riding mower. And when I parted out that big kit because it was incomplete, these were some of the parts. And I tell you, I'm almost out of these parts. So a lot of people, they need a single part rather than an expensive kit worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So when you get an incomplete kit or just a few pieces, these are new. These were never installed. But of course his question was, did I have mounting hardware? And I had actually made all the hardware that was in the kit a separate lot. And that was one of the first things to go. And then I began selling the individual pieces. I believe this is the first of 2 levers. I may have another one, but we'll get these packed up. If there's anything particularly interesting in the pack, as we check the weight and the prices and the destination zips, which has become the norm, I'll flip it around, turn the camera on, and we'll talk about it. And here are the 2 books, wrapped in the usual cardboard. Ends have been tucked and folded. This is one of the newer style eBay envelopes. I think it's a little better quality than the old ones. Here you can see the old ones, and they just weren't made very well. But I've still got enough of these to use up in this size, but I've already broken out the new ones in the medium size. But yeah, we'll just slide the corrugated pack into this bubble, and away it'll go to Pennsylvania. Now when I do these, I like to put a little tape here and its opposite number over here. I'll run a piece of tape over the seam. And I do that just to make sure they don't catch on anything as they travel down the conveyor in the postal system. This will go out media rate, I suspect, and I'll check the numbers in a second. Now when I have an item like this, now that the post office is getting so particular about size and weight, I measure from out here on the ear. I don't measure here. Some people like to measure the bags, the bubble mailers, in their flat size, and they just use the size of the mailer. But I just simply measure from here to here and check the same thing. If I don't tape the flaps down like this, I just use the raw measurements. For most things, it doesn't matter. There's the size I'm using, 2 pounds, 11 by 9 by 3, media weight, 513. If we were to throw this up into 3 pounds, 586, so almost no increase at all. Now let's take a look at what ground advantage would be. That's the real question with the inversion rate for ground advantage these days. 513 for 2 pounds of media to the East Coast. Ground advantage, 1043. So this will definitely be traveling media rate. Still a value. Here's the part. Went up at $13.79. Let's see what the shipping is. $10.49 for shipping. I don't like it when it doesn't give the details up front. Ground advantage. I have one more of these. There were 2 in the original kit. Some kits only have 1. The buyer sent me a note that says, "Ship ASAP. I need to cut the grass. Please send as soon as possible." Now this one is headed to New York. I charged, 10 something I think for the shipping. Let's see. Yeah, I charged $10.49 ground advantage. Let's see how this plays out. Now when you have an awkwardly shaped 3-dimensional item like this, you've got to take the overall dimensions into account. And it is just about 12 inches, or at least I'm going to need a 12-inch box. And it's also going to need some height. Though sometimes you can angle the tools a little bit to get it to go into a box one size smaller. This is going to take a bigger box than it first looks like. But that's okay, I've got them here. Here is an excellent size box for this. The box measures about 6 by 6 by 12, and I need about 5 by 5 by 12. And what I will do is I have a choice. I can either just use some eBay tape to obscure the medical references on this box, because this company produces casts for broken bones. Or, with many of these fold-up style boxes, I can unfold it, fold it in reverse, and that'll give me a brown or a white exterior and no markings to cover. Let's see how this one unfolds and refolds. So this type of box, it's a fold over with a tuck, and all we do is we figure out how to grab this. We grab it underneath, we do it to the other side, it now unfolds like this, just like the small 4x4x4 boxes. We open it up and then we simply reverse fold it. There's no tape in the original makeup, not until they go to seal the flap. So you can make it up in reverse and it will be a nice clean brown exterior. Now here it is folded up in reverse. So all we have to do is take these 2 flaps and tuck them down underneath. And a lot of this box is doubled. You see how this piece comes all the way in? If we needed to trim the weight in the old days, we would actually shorten all these flaps because it really doesn't need this much cardboard. These days, though, the extra cardboard could be an advantage if this becomes a 3-pound pack headed to a good zip code. Yeah, we got good zip codes and bad zip codes these days. And there's the box all folded up. So for a rough mock-up measurement, we'll throw the part in, we'll turn on the scale, and you can see this will pack out at a 3-pound rate. So now let's take a look at what that will give us in the way of a price break, if any. 3 pounds headed to New York. The basic size, 13 by 6 by 6. Price, $8.05. Let's make it 2 pounds out of curiosity. 2 pounds would have added $2. Yeah. So by pushing it up just over the edge, and this one was easy. All I had to do was pick a box that added some weight, not do any cut downs like usual. Now I'll throw some crumple and tape on it to make it even heavier, but I will want to keep it under 3 pounds. Because if I go to 4 pounds, $9.71. I lose some of that advantage. But it's okay, we can hold it to 3 pounds. Even if I have to put a lot of crumple in it, I can still cut some of those tabs or flaps. Even at this point, you can see there's a full flap and there are 3/4 tabs. So I could trim this here, I could trim it here, I could trim it here, and if the crumple were to try to push it up into 4 pounds, I could hold it at the premium 3-pound rate. Tucked, folded, lots of crumple paper, only 2 pounds 6. So I can put as much tape or extra padding in there as I need to and buy that 3-pound premium ticket and save a couple bucks in doing it. They really, other than maybe looking long-term and trying to collect new shippers, they really can't be saving any money or making any money with this inversion. Honestly, post office, honestly. So this idea of flipping boxes inside out, it's not original. I do it all the time. But I remember when some of the post office boxes, the priority boxes, used to come that way. They'd ship them flat packed, like the triangular shipping tubes, and if you folded them one way, you got priority. If you folded them the other, you got express. And some of the APO, FPO boxes like that were convertible as well. So you would always want to make double sure that you had picked the side out that you wanted. It gives it a better, cleaner look. And I noticed while I was packing it, another sale came in for a precision instrument, and I got an offer. I suspect the offer is someone trying to interest me in buying the little K pods, the ones that you fill with your own coffee, because our new coffee maker can use regular grounds to make pod coffee. I've used it a few times now. Other than the fact that it's physically larger and takes up more counter space, I'm liking this ability to go in and make a single cup in the afternoon if it's overcast. Well, it's warming up now. You can probably tell by the flush to my cheeks that the oven here is beginning to heat up. So the sale that just happened, I think I'll leave that for tomorrow. After all, this is reselling in retirement. I'll go see what the kids on the lake are up to. See what my wife is up to. With all the young people around, she's like a kid getting to play with toys. She worked hard pressure washing the kayaks. Now she wants to ride in the kayaks. It's a great experience. If you haven't gone kayaking, do it. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then they'll head over to Seattle on Wednesday. I think the teens especially are interested in seeing Seattle. Those prep the kayaks. The fleet is ready to embark passengers and set to sea. Well, the lake anyway.